So I've been working on the room. I got a little bit done, and I think it's going to help with the new year. I can get a little more stuff in here, and I've still got some other stuff to move in here. You don't realize how much modeling stuff you have, and I don't mean just kits because I don't have a lot of kits, but just everything from tools to books to reference to parts to whatever you have, paint, boxes of parts, boxes of stuff. You just don't realize what you have until you got to move it off from one place to another, even if it's in your own house. It's because you have to dig deep and get everything. So I'm going to, I finished this kit here. So this is the Gazelle, Nissan Gazelle, Aoshima. I did not paint it like the box. Since the last kit I built was black and red, that was a Toyota, I really liked that paint scheme. So I did this one the same way. I did it in red and black. I already had the paint and I liked it. I like that color combo, so I just went with it. So I did it on this car as well. And the kit's a little simplistic, but that's okay. I don't mind. I like these Japanese kits. Even if they don't have an engine, pretty much everything easily fits, and you're not going to have any issues. It's pretty rare. So with that said, I'm going to turn everything around, and then I will show the model, and we'll talk about that. So just a moment. So this is the Nissan Gazelle. It's 1/24 scale. It's a little longer than most cars with all the ground effects and everything on it, but it looks good. And it came out well. It didn't have any problems. Just Tamiya red paint, Tamiya gloss black, and this has the BBS wheels on it that came with the kit. And I'm going to show a still picture. You probably saw it at the beginning of this video, which would show just one shot of the interior. But you can see a little bit of it inside the window. And they give you some nice different parts inside there. And most of them have a connection for like a hose or a wire or something like that. So I guess if you wanted to detail it out, it would be easy to do that. Finding a diagram of how to wire it up or run the hoses would be a different matter. Reference is always tough. This is the bottom of the car. Again, very simple. This car has a piece in the front underneath where the hood, which was normally where the batteries would go. So this kit started out as a battery operated version, you know, toy/model years ago. So they just modified I guess slightly to make it just a pure model kit. But the good side to that is it was very inexpensive. It was only like $25. It's very inexpensive compared to most car model kits. But I like all these ground effects. I like this big air dam on the front, the wing on the back. Just everything looks cool. And it's a pretty wide car. So, and that's really about it. This is what I built. This is the next finished kit. So next up that I'm working on now is, I already started painting a couple of parts. So next up is going to be this kit. So I've been wanting to do one of these Mazda 767Bs, and Hasegawa makes several different kits over the years of this car. It's the same kit every time, maybe with some minor differences or in different decals and stuff like that. That's fine. Doesn't have an engine. It's not the, you know, Tamiya makes a 767B with the engine, but they're horrendously expensive. You know, I'm talking like $80-100. You know, they're not cheap. These, I got this probably for like $30 or less. But I thought it was I'm one of those people even when I'm doing a race car, I don't want it to be, I don't want to build it when it's, 14 different colors on the body. I have no desire to mask all that off or try to paint it or, do huge decals, and I don't have no desire to do any of that. So this one, I decided on this one because it's all one color. It's all yellow. There is a little bit of silver, I think, right here on the side. But generally, all I need is, and I actually have some Tamiya yellow paint, and I already actually started painting it. So it's on its way getting started. The chassis is in flat black right now. So that's what we got going on with that. I did have this figure that I got, and I was going to put this with the knees on, but this came from eBay. It was made in China, but I don't think, when I went to put white Tamiya primer on it, it wouldn't stick. It got all mottled and blotched. And then I tried a quick shot of automotive primer, which has never failed me. I mean, it will stick to anything. Over the years that I've used it, it would not stick to this. So the only thing I can think of is when they printed this, it's a 3D printing. When they printed it, they didn't clean it. So there must be some chemical on it or something that just makes it so the primer will not adhere to it. And of course, if the primer doesn't stick to it, neither will the paint. And you can't really sand it down because it's a very nice figure. It has a lot of detail, but of course you can't really sand that off. So I'm going to put it in some isopropyl alcohol or whatever, and then I'll see if that strips it, hopefully. But anyway, she is just right, she's not going to do it now. There you go. So, I wanted it because I figured it would do this. It would sit on the hood and it would look cool. So I actually think this figure is a little larger than 124. It might be 120. In extreme, it could be 118, but maybe it is 124. The package says 124, and I looked on a website that says everything says 124. Maybe it's just me. It just looks large, but then this car is in unusual shape, so maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. Anyway, I like it. If I can get it clean, I'm going to paint it. I also have another kit that I've been working on, and this has been slow going, and I used white primer on this one. When I shot it with white primer, it didn't seem to want to get down. This is out of a can. This is Tamiya white primer, but it didn't really want to get down in all the crevices and everything. So I bought a bottle of white primer like this so that I could brush it in all these cracks and everything. And it worked well. It got right down in there. It was weird because this primer has a glossy finish that I never seen that before, but it didn't seem to matter. And then, of course, I've shot it with Tamiya skin tone color, and then I will probably paint the rest of it with Vallejo paints. I've painted most of the figures I painted with Vallejo paints and never had really a problem. I mean, it works great. The faces are the hardest part of any figure for me, and just by chance, I mean, I have this figure here just by chance, but this one here, I forget what the name of this one is or where it comes from. I just called her the beer girl. It looks like she's got a can of beer in her hand. But when I did this figure, and I really enjoy painting figures because it's nothing like having to deal with things that you do on a car. You don't even need, if you're inside, you don't even have to worry about the weather. You just get a brush, you get your Vallejo paints out, and you mix them up if you want. You get the colors you want, and you just go to town, and it's just like painting a painting. It's just 3D. But anyway, I had to strip her head, her face, like 4 times before I could get it to where it was at least presentable, because it's just difficult. It takes practice. So I had 4 chances. So I finally got it about as good as I'm going to get it, and I'm happy with it. But you know, I like these figures that have all the like leather clothes and stuff like that, because they're I like trying to replicate that look and getting the different shades and using the washes, and that's what I like to do. So I just have some of these. I put some, since I redid my model room, I decided I have a few things in cases, not very many, but the figures I put in most of them are in a case, in some kind of case, or just to protect them, because you get any dust on that, that's all. I do spray a matte clear coat over it to keep because if you don't, these are painted with acrylic, which Vallejo acrylics, and if you pick it up and you handle it, you're going to rub the paint right off. So you have to seal it. So you have to put a matte clear or whatever sealant or spray it over it, and they make that. It's a matte varnish. They make that, and you can put that on, and then you'll be all right. But you definitely want to remember to do that, because as soon as you start handling the model, you're going to rub the paint right off. It's just acrylic, so it does dry well, dries quick. But you'll probably see some acrylic on this pretty soon. I don't have the box handy, but if I showed you the box, but you've seen this figure. I mean, they're made by Hasegawa. They're 1/12 scale. There's got to be like 30 or 40 of these figures, if not more, all different kinds. Some are anime, some are women, some are whatever. I don't even remember now. But I have a motorcycle kit. And I bought this kit, and I'm building her specifically to go with the motorcycle. And I haven't built the motorcycle yet because I can't find the paint color that I need. But I figured, well, this has been sitting around in a box, so I might as well try to paint this and see if I can even build it. See if I can even get her face right. So we'll see what happens. But generally, she's made to go with the motorcycle kit once I get around to building that. And that's about it. Sort of an update, sort of what's done. But I'll let that stop there, and I'll see you on the next video.